Anybody that's abused themselves of trying to understand our American political system has run into an argument asking, are we a republic or a democracy? Now, my 2 cents on this argument is that most people who argue about this are just idiots, trying to look smart, like they've studied decades learning all about how our government works. Be that as it may, this question needs to be cleared up. And I'm the guy that's going to clear it up for you, so you don't have to go wasting decades of your life in pursuit of an answer. Now, we all know the first thing we got to do is understand what both a democracy and a republic is, and we can look at that difference and how each is defined. A republic is defined as a government in which supreme power resides in a body of citizens entitled to vote in representatives responsible to them. Yeah, that fits us pretty well, so we must be a republic. But let's make sure. Democracy is defined as a government in which a supreme power is vested in the people and exercised by them directly or indirectly through a system of representation using free elections, which really ain't no different than how a republic is defined. So what gives? Why do people even argue about this, you may ask? But before we ask anybody why they argue about this question, maybe we should look back to what our founding fathers had to say. Clearly, our nation was born as a constitutional republic. Thomas Jefferson believed in a citizen's civic duty to aid the state in resisting anything that had anything to do with making us have a king and queen. He also believed in a strong federal government, but he was also concerned that a strong government could restrict the rights of citizens, none of which addresses anything I'm talking about. How about Sam Adams? Well, Mr. Adams originally opposed the signing of the Constitution until they added in a Bill of Rights. That's right. Sam Adams was worried that our government, as it was being discussed, had too much power, so they kind of came up with the Bill of Rights just to appease him, to get him to sign. Again, any thoughts as to if he preferred a democracy or a republic, I could not find. So let's turn to good old George Washington, that is. And like Adams and Jefferson, all I can find when it comes to whether he preferred a democracy or a republic is nothing. But what he did believe in was a strong government that upheld the rights and freedoms of the individual. And for what it's worth, old George didn't care much for political parties. That's another video. So from what little research I've done, because this is, after all, just a little video, I've come to the conclusion that our founding fathers weren't necessarily concerned with what we called ourselves, as long as it was enshrined in our Constitution, that we, the citizens, had certain rights that our government might be able to diminish, but never, ever dissolve. So we're back to being a constitutional republic, which is how our nation was born. So why are people saying that we live in a democracy? This is where I split hairs, so pay attention, very close attention. The difference between a republic and a democracy comes down to the majority and minority in how each is defined, and it's a bit confusing. In both forms, government is tasked with protecting the rights of its citizens. And here's the key difference. In a democracy, a real democracy, the rights of the minority are unprotected, because it's all about majority rule. If the majority votes for a Sunday ice cream social and the minority wants a social on Monday, they ain't got a chance in hell to eat any ice cream on Monday unless they live in a republic. That's because in a republic, they vote for people to reflect their interest. And therein lies the best definition of our type of government. We're a bit of a constitutional republic, and we're a bit of an old-style democracy. In other words, we've got the best of both worlds. And now you're smart enough to answer that idiot who claims we live in a republic or a democracy or whatever damn reality they live in. Is it all clear for you now? I hope it is. You know, this is an argument that people argue about, and I followed threads. I've followed threads arguing about this on social media, and it's an absolutely ridiculous argument. It really is. It doesn't matter what we call ourselves. That has nothing to do with who we are. Really. But then again, some people just they gotta live and die by the argument because that's what their life is all about. But just so you know, when somebody says, "Well, what do you say? We don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic." Just give them the finger. That's what I would do and say, you're really a friggin' idiot because you don't know what you're talking about because we're a little bit of both. And neither. Well, everything in life, there's a lot of things in life, especially in politics, that falls right into those gray areas. And the problem with things and topics and discussions that fall into those gray areas, you can make shit smell good. You can actually do more than just attract flies. Like attracting stupid people. Well, I'm not going there. I did say that. That was a misstep. Yeah, okay. Where's my shot? I did it. I had to go buy some more Patron. Out of here. Love you. Take care.